don't know, nobody don't know, no tomorrow. Hustler never envy another man. Hustler never envy another soul. Cause you never know whatever the plan. But who know I go reap whatever you sow.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. My name is Kelvin, and you're welcome to this evening's training session where we are going to learn a few things about our business. Now, if you can hear me, please give me something. Give me a hello, give me a hi on the platform. Let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you very much for the feedback, Isaac. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, all right. So now that I know you can hear me, I'd love to know where you are, who you are. So please go ahead and type your name and type where you're joining this call from. I'm in Accra here live in Khaled. And I'd love to know who can hear. I'd love to know where you are and where you're connecting from. So go ahead and look for the chat platform, type your name and type where you're joining this call from. Let's do this quickly so I know exactly who is here with me. Isaac from Esutrai, good to have you here. Tony from Ho, lovely to have you here as well. Anybody else who can hear me? Let's do this quickly, guys. I'd love to know who can hear me and who can see me. And I'd like to highlight everybody who is on this call right now. So go ahead and type your name and type where you're joining us from. Justine from Accra, good to have you join us, boss lady. Who else is on this call? Who else can hear me? Lizzie from Kumasi, Rudolph from Kumasi. Wow, the Kumasi guys are taking over. Irene from Accra, good to have you join us as well. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Now this evening, you know the topic already. We are talking about attracting quality prospects. Quality prospect. Vincent from Ashaiman, good to have you join us as well. You've been missing for a while. Lovely to have you back, boss. So we are talking about attracting quality prospects. That's what we are discussing this evening. Yeah, unemployed millionaire right here. Okay, so we are going to go straight to the point. We are not going to dilly dally. We're not going to go all out. We're not going to go around in circles. We're going to go straight to the point, hit the nail on the head, and be out of here. But it's going to be an interactive session, which means you are going to have to communicate with me. I'm going to ask some questions. You're going to help me give answers, and then we flow. And so the first question I have for you is, what does it mean to prospect? What is a prospect? Who is a prospect? What's that concept of prospecting? What's it all about? Now, if you know what it's about, go ahead and tell me what you think prospect is or prospecting is, whichever one you understand. Let's get it going. Unless you want me to call our names, I can do that as well. So go ahead and let me know. You can type it up in the comment section so I know where you are at, and then I can also help you get on the same page. And while we wait for anybody to share their opinion, I mean, if you know what it is, feel free to type on the platform. But like I said, we're not going to wait. We're just going to zoom straight away. So now, prospect. A prospect is an English word, as it were. And it can be a noun, it can be a verb as well. Now, I'm going to spend time to actually define it, because when you understand what it means by definition, then you can begin to modify it, or you can make it your own. You cannot modify something that you don't understand. And so it's important that we start from the basics. We break it down to what it means at the fundamental level, so that we can build on top of that. And so basically, a prospect, or a prospect is something, it's a potential. That's what it means. And this is when you're using it as a noun. It means a potential. So a prospect is a potential. A prospective spouse means a potential spouse. A prospective business means a business that you are probably going to jump on board. A prospective plan, a prospective anything that, so that's when you use prospect to describe something. That's a noun. Now, but that same word prospect can also be a verb. I mean, and we all know that from primary school, a verb is a doing word or an action word. And so when we say we are prospecting, it means that we are going to look for something. We are going to look for the potential that is hidden in something. So we are going to unearth something. We are going to discover something. We are going to open up something to review the potential inside that thing. So when we say prospecting as a verb, when we say we are prospecting, it means we are revealing something that is hidden, something that is covered. So that's what it means to prospect. And a prospect is the potential. So basically, when you go out prospecting, you are prospecting a prospect. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. If you are still with me, go ahead and type a Y in the comment section. Let me know that you are still with me. Exactly. Thank you, Isaac, for the feedback. So that's what prospecting is. Basically, we are looking for potential that is hidden. And so our aim or our agenda is to open up that potential so that we can review whatever is hidden to the world or to ourselves and then utilize that prospect towards a certain goal. That's what it means, that's what this whole prospecting thing is about. But when we talk about prospecting in respect of our business, our network marketing business, then by definition, prospecting then becomes a situation where you are creating an environment. So you are creating an environment that is conducive, that is suitable for you to engage with somebody that you have determined to be a potential business partner. So it involves, so prospecting involves the creation of a conducive atmosphere so that a potential business partner can see what it is that you have to share and then decide whether that business or that proposal is a good enough fit for him or her to become a partner to you. So that's what prospecting in respect of our business means. And so when we go out prospecting or when we are engaged in prospecting, we are creating situations and circumstances or scenarios so that somebody who we feel is a potential business partner can identify what we are identifying and then decide that he wants to indeed partner with us so that we convert that potential into an actual relationship, an actual partnership. So that's what prospecting means in network marketing. Now, this definition, there are two key things. There are two key things that I want you to take away from here this evening. The first one is that it involves the creation of an atmosphere, which means that the act of prospecting doesn't just happen in a vacuum. There must be careful thought, there must be planning as to how exactly, in fact, the how, the where, you are going to engage this particular prospect. Because if that environment is not tailored to fit or to suit that prospect, it doesn't matter how good the plan that you are presenting is, because the environment is not conducive, that prospect is not going to hear what you are presenting to him or her. And so the likelihood that prospect will join you is very, very, very low because the environment is not the right fit for that person. And I'm stressing on the environment being the right fit for that person because everybody is different. Prospecting requires that you know the prospect so that you create something that will suit that prospect. You see, our business, the reason why network marketing is a difficult business is that network marketing is a relationship business. When we say it's a relationship business, it means that there's no one size fits all. And that's what makes our business a bit difficult for some people to understand. And this is also why our business pays out so much money, because every prospect, every person that you bring into the business must have had some level of personal connection with you. And it's very difficult to get to gain the trust and build a personal relationship. And so once you successfully bring somebody into the business, everybody in the network marketing community understands that you have invested something of yourself in that person, and that is why you are rewarded with commission upon commission. Because once you invest in somebody, there's bound to be returned to you. If you put your money in treasury bill and there was no return, then why would you put more money in there? You're obviously going to collect your money from the bank or whoever it is that you bought the treasury bill from. And so once you are investing into something, there must be a return. And so as you are investing into each of those prospects, trying to get to know them, trying to determine how best to introduce them to the business, that action is where it will result in you creating the atmosphere, the environment for that prospect to want to partner with you. Very, very important. Then the second point I want you to take note of is the fact that the prospect, in this case, the person that you are presenting opportunity to, that person does not know that he's a potential partner. In other words, it is you are the one who decided that person is a potential business partner. In other words, you are the one who saw something in him or her and decided that he should be in your business because he's definitely going to add value to your team. And so you want him to join you in your business. The prospect is not aware of whatever you have seen in him or her, except of course you have told him, but for all intents and purposes, it is you who has the opportunity. You know what the requirements are, and you have assessed this person and decided that he or she is a potential business partner. That person is not aware that he's a potential business partner, and so you need to make him or her see what you see, so that that person can then come to the other side where he sees himself as a potential business partner and wants to partner with you. This is very, very important because this is very, very important. And if you fail to grasp this concept, you run around thinking that how do I put it? It is important for you to understand this because you have the power. You are the one, you are the opportunity bearer. You are the one coming in with the opportunity. So you have all the power. In other words, the prospect is none the wiser. And so you should not relinquish your power to the prospect, because once you do that, you begin to chase. And once you are chasing, you have lost your advantage. Think about it this way, and I'm going to use a very real example. So how many of you are joining this call from Ghana? I mean, majority of you are from Ghana, but if you are joining from Ghana, please type GH in the comment section for me. Let me know how many of you are in Ghana right now. Please type a GH in the comment section if you are joining this call from Ghana. Lovely, 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 lovely. All right. So now, if you are in Ghana, you know the issue with the Black Stars. The Black Stars coach has been fired. TK Akono has been fired. Several coaches have applied for the job. You know, Milovan Rivak, several other coaches. The GFA has apparently chosen one person. Then the GFA now goes ahead to headhunt another person who is called Otto Addo. He's a Ghanaian coach coaching in Dortmund in Germany. Now, the GFA went to Otto Addo and headhunted him. And because they this out, Otto Addo makes a demand of the GFA that if GFA wants me to come and be assistant coach to whoever they decide, then GFA must agree that me as Otto Addo, I will keep my job at Dortmund and still be assistant coach to the Ghana national team. Now, this is an interesting situation because usually the national team coach and assistant position is a full-time job. But this is the case where Otto Addo is making a demand of GFA. Now, can you imagine why or how Otto Addo has the audacity to make this demand? Can you fathom where the mindset that Otto Addo is coming into this negotiation with? It's very simple. When I heard it, people were upset and saying he doesn't respect blah blah blah. But the reason is very simple. He was headhunted. The GFA literally carried themselves and went to tell him that we want you. And once they did that, they gave Otto Addo the power. And so now Otto Addo calls the shot. However, if the situation had been reversed and Otto Addo had come in to apply for the position, there's no way Otto Addo could have made the demand of the GFA. But because the role has been reversed and the GFA is the one now chasing him, he can make that condition as part of the contract agreement. And so the point I'm trying to make is that when you go prospecting and you give your prospect the power, you give him everything. You relinquish your power and give it to the prospect. Then the prospect begins to call the shot. But here's the case where you are the one with the power. You have the opportunity. You have the means to solve the prospect issues. And so you need to have the skill to be able to run the show. Basically, that's what I'm saying. You've created an environment. First of all, you build a relationship. You've identified the need. You realize that your opportunity can help him or her address this particular need. And so you are going to him from a position of authority. And so posture is very, very important. People have said that the Diamond Associate speaks 10 minutes on the stage and everybody signs up. It is not because the Diamond Associate is any more skillful or any more better at speaking than you, the new associate. It is just because of posturing. The Diamond Associate has been there, done that, fallen down and rising up and learned the lesson, and now it's applying the experience from all those lessons, and it's able to talk to people more confidently, and it's able to close them easier. So you too can do the same thing by learning from the mistakes of others. The experience, you don't need to have that experience yourself before you learn the lessons out of it. And so people have been there and they are willing to teach you. So just learn and apply, and you have an easier journey than some of us when we started. So it's important that you understand some of these things so that you can build your business from there. And so you are in control, you have the power, and you determine who should join your business. But we started by saying that we are discussing how to attract quality prospects. So now we know who a prospect is, we know what prospecting is, but what does quality mean? what does the word quality actually mean? And here I'd love some feedback. Anybody can tell me what the word quality means? I'll probably call Reverend Anthony. Can you tell us how you understand quality? What does quality mean, Reverend Anthony? Go ahead and you can unmute yourself and let us know what you understand by quality. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but go ahead. I see you on there. So let me know how do you understand quality, Reverend Anthony? Or maybe his network is not allowing him. Anybody else who wants to give an idea what quality actually means or how you understand quality? All right, everybody's shy. We'll just go ahead then. So basically, quality is it's the what's it called? The standard is the standard of something as compared to another thing. So basically, you cannot determine quality if you only have one thing that you are looking at. So it has to be compared to something else. And all of us have had the chance of going out to look for a quality shirt or a quality shoe or even a quality cream or whatever. Because we've had an experience an inferior product. We are looking for something that's better than that which we had been exposed to before. And so, and thankfully, almost everybody on this call has actually gone out and signed a few people into the organization. And these people came into the business and they may not have done anything with the opportunity. Some of them have quit, some of them are still involved in the business. So at least we have a reference point. So we know what we don't want. And we now have an idea what we want. We want people who are going to come into the business and actually do the business the right way. And so when we talk about quality prospects, we are talking about people who are going to come into the business and do the business as you are doing it. People who think like you, people who behave like you, people who are going to utilize this opportunity to the fullest extent, just as you are doing. And so that is what quality means. It's actually from a Latin, it's a combination of Latin, French, and it came up to form the word quality. And so quality it's an attribute that it's a desirable attribute that we want in our prospect. Because when your prospect is a quality prospect, he or she is not going to give up at the first sign of trouble because he's coming into the business with a long-term mentality. He's looking into the business 5 years from today, not just tomorrow and the end of the week. And so he or she comes to the business ready to push his way, fight his way, learn his way to become successful. So we don't just want anybody to join our business. We want quality people to join our business. And we don't just want quality people. We don't just want people who are in there somewhere for us to come and find them. We want to attract them to us so that they come to us and ask us how they can partner with us. That's what we are talking about today, attracting quality prospects. It is very, very important. It's a key in this business that we actually attract people. Remember that we are in an era of attraction marketing. If you actually go around, you see there's a lot of psychology that goes into advertising these days. Back in the day, you see an advert and they say buy a, but now you see an advert and you yourself, you have to think about what you just saw. Is it what exactly are they trying to get me to do? And so just by talking about it, so you go on Facebook or you go on social media and you raise an issue about how an advert that doesn't make sense. And the buzz that is created by that discussion alone, drives people to go and purchase that product just to see and understand what is going on. You see, so it's a lot of right now. Advertising is not just putting products in people's face. It's about making people talk about the product. So companies are doing things just to stay relevant. So people are, in fact, musicians are starting so-called beef just to stay relevant because in these days, the more people talk about you on social media, the more traction you receive, the more endorsement deals you get. So a lot of crazy things are going on out there. But we want quality people who are going to come into the business and build it right from start. That's what we are looking for, And so for you to know quality, you need to know where you are going, basically. In other words, a prospect, a potential partner is somebody who is going to come into your life or come into your business, your organization, and then you can leverage on each other and achieve a certain goal, which then means that before you can even decide who comes into your business, you must have your goals sorted out. You must know where you are going, because it's only when you know where you are going that you can tell who or what will not get you there. And so if you don't know where you're going, if you don't have a destination in mind, then it makes it very, very difficult to even prospect properly. Because if you don't know where you're going, how do you even know who is going to help you, who's going to help you get to that destination? And so the most important thing you can do for yourself once you become a partner, once you start your business, is to actually determine the end from the beginning. You need to have the end in sight before you even get started. Many of us have been in the business for a while, so maybe this training is coming a bit late, but it is still something that is important for you to know and put into practice. That if you can tell the end, if you can determine your end from the beginning, it helps you to know which caliber of people to bring into your business. Because if I join this business and my goal is to become a Crown Diamond associate, it doesn't make sense to bring in people who have no intention of even becoming bronze, because per the requirements, I need a certain number of bronzes before I can become a Crown Diamond. It's not just about volume. And so if I bring people into the business who are not interested in building a team of their own, then it's going to cripple my intention. It's going to cripple my vision. And so the prospect, the person you call prospect, must be somebody whose vision and your vision are in sync, so that when the two visions are in sync, then it produces a master vision that is going to be achieved because the two are working in sync. If you bring in people whose visions are contrary to what you are doing, when you are pulling and when you are pushing and they are pulling, the net effect is zero, and sometimes the net effect might even be negative. And so when we joined the business 6-7 years ago, we were told that sign them all, and even many of you I have engaged with, I've told you the same, is sign them all. But you realize that sign them all might not be where you need to be going, because there might be people who you are going to sign who don't have the same vision as you do. And so we need to modify that statement. It's not just about sign them all, but sign them all who share in your vision, period. And so it's not just about signing them all. It's not just about signing everybody. In fact, if you go deep in network marketing, you don't need to sign everybody, because sometimes when you sign everybody, you run into the problem of struggling to manage them all. And so you don't need to sign them all, but you need to sign them all who share your vision, so that when the vision from the team is the same, is similar, there's a leveraging, there's a syncing, there's a mega boost in the amplitude of your activities, which will then yield the result faster, at a much faster rate. Because you're all vibrating at the same level, it's so easy to speak the same language, it's so easy to share the same dream, it's so easy to invest the same hours into achieving the same goals. So that when it's time to burn the midnight candle, nobody is complaining about the fact that I have to go here and do that, I have to sleep and wake up and do that. Everybody understands that we are burning the midnight candle because we must achieve A and B before the month ends. So we are all pushing together. And you see there's strength in numbers. When we are all doing the same thing at the same time, it generates a lot of momentum. But when some people are doing A and others are doing B, the net effect is a cancellation of the effort. And so we need to get our vision aligned. We need to get our vision aligned with our teammates. We need to get our vision aligned with our prospects. And so it begins with you making sure that you have your vision sorted out. So the question I'll ask you this evening is, where do you see yourself 5 years from today in this business that you are doing? Where do you see yourself? You must invest time in addressing this question. You must spend time understanding where you're going with this business, because it is that vision that will drive your prospecting. Because when you go out to find people to join your business, those people must have their vision in line with where you're going. Or even if it's not in line where you're going, they must be malleable. They must be willing to buy into your vision, so that once they buy into your vision, then all of you can now move forward towards a goal. And so it starts with the vision. You cannot prospect if you don't have a vision of where you're going. You cannot prospect if you haven't bought into somebody's vision. And that's the beautiful thing about network marketing. You don't have to have your own vision as a beginner, as a start. You can leverage on your upline's vision. You can leverage on your mentor's vision. As for vision, anybody can buy into a vision, because when Jesus Christ came onto the earth, he had a vision. He knew he had been given a purpose. He was here for a task. He came here, spent 30 years learning and investing in how to achieve his vision and his purpose. When he stepped out at the age of 30 and went to recruit his first disciples, those disciples had a vision of being fishermen. They were feeding people with their fish. And when Jesus spoke to them and told them, come and join my vision, they didn't immediately have their own vision of becoming fishers of men, but they bought into the vision that Christ had given to them, that come and I'll make you fishers of men. They bought into that vision, and today we celebrate them as the 12 apostles because they decided to buy into Christ's vision. So by all means, you may not have your vision sorted out. It's not a problem. Find somebody who has passion, somebody who has a vision, somebody who is obviously going somewhere, and then tie your cloth to that person, so that as the person moves, then you move, and as the person learns, then you learn. As the person makes mistakes, you avoid the mistake because you have seen the person make the mistake. Because if your mentor makes a mistake and you make that same mistake, then that person is not your mentor. You're obviously not learning from him. So that is very important. So learn from that person, but avoid the mistakes of that person. And as you build yourself up, you realize that a time will come when you now have the capacity to now have a clear vision for your own path, by which time you have learned enough from this other person, and then you can now move on to do your own thing. Most of the time, the reason why people feel is that they branch off too early. They haven't finished learning, they haven't finished acquiring the skill, and then because they are tired of being followers, they want to become leaders immediately. Leadership is open to everybody. That one is a fact. Nobody can prevent you from becoming a leader, but it will cost you. It will cost you time and energy to learn. Leaders are learners. You cannot be a leader if you're not learning. Learn. Apply what you learn, because it's only when you apply what you have learned that it becomes knowledge, and it is when it becomes knowledge that you can transfer it. If you're not applying what you have learned, you cannot teach what you are not applying. You cannot teach what you are not doing. Very, very important. So you learn, you pick up the information, you apply the information so that it becomes knowledge. It is only when you have applied this and it has become knowledge, it has become a part of you, that you can now teach somebody to do it. And so as you learn from this person, as you understand the psychology of this person, it helps you to now craft your own vision. Or if you still feel very intimate with the person's vision, by all means adopt it and then move together with that vision, and you can still do something great out of it. But bottom line is, you cannot bring people into your organization if there's no direction. So direction is key, and vision is that direction that is leading you towards a certain destination. Because everything we are doing, the product, the compensation plan, the prospecting, all those things are vehicles that are going to aim at getting you to a destination, your destination. So that you cannot compromise with that destination. You need that destination to know who to bring into your business. You understand? Because at the gate of your destiny, that is when your destiny helper will find you, which means that you must be standing at the gate of your destiny. Otherwise, the destiny helper cannot find you. And so the vision is very, very, very important. And after you have now sorted out your vision, then you go looking for people to make your vision a reality. See, because if you don't have a vision sorted, if you don't know where you're going, then you are afraid to go anywhere. So sometimes while you are prospecting the prospect is also prospecting you, which is actually what always happens. And you need to understand this, and please write this down. Very, very important. Even while you are prospecting somebody, you yourself are also a prospect to that same person. Because while you are prospecting him, trying to review the potential inside that person, he's also prospecting you, trying to see if you are good enough for him to partner with. Or is there something about you that he actually wants to be a part of? So while you are prospecting, you are also a prospect. And so it is important that you have this at the back of your mind. So you are presenting yourself to that person, to that prospect, as a potential partner, just as you are also assessing that person as a potential partner. And so it's a two-way street. You are presenting yourself as a partner, and you are assessing him also as a partner. If you assess him as a partner and you think he qualifies, but he assesses you as a partner and you don't qualify, he is not going to sign up with you, because the two assessments gave different outcomes. And so you must make sure that while you are prospecting, you are also a potential candidate for partnership with that person. And so you must meet that person's expectation for him to want to partner with you in any sort of way. Now, these things I'm sharing with you are applicable even outside network marketing. Everything is applicable in every aspect of life. When you are courting your girlfriend, you think she's a potential wife, she must also think that you're a potential husband. If you think she's a potential wife, but she sees you as a brother, it doesn't matter what you do. You have been brother zone. You cannot get married to your brother, my guy. It doesn't work like that. So as you are prospecting the lady, no, as you are prospecting the lady, she's also prospecting you. It is not a one-way street. We are not in the era of arranged marriages. No, those things don't happen much anymore. It still happens elsewhere, but it doesn't happen much. Right now, it's both ways. You prospect the woman prospects you. If the expectations are met, then you get married and you have a happy life together. If the expectations are imbalanced, then there's a problem. That's an imbalanced relationship, and there will always be issues until people are brought together as partners in that relationship. So it's applicable in every aspect of life, every aspect of life. And so, if you have understood all this I've given you is just the basic, the fundamentals to let you understand that prospecting is not just a matter of talking to people. And the mindset behind it must be right. The approach must be right. The expected outcome must be well defined, so that everything will then fall in line, so that you know from the start what you are hoping to achieve by bringing this person into the business. And when you speak from a position of purpose, when you speak from vision, people are attracted to vision. People are attracted to vision. When you speak from a position of vision, it is not so much about the current circumstances. It is not so much about current circumstances, because as I'm sitting here, I see myself as a powerful public speaker with several businesses, several million-dollar businesses, under my belt. But as I'm sitting here today, I don't have several million-dollar businesses under my belt. But when I'm speaking of the vision, the person may see me as somebody, just an ordinary person with a big dream, and that big dream is what the person is attracted to. So that I have shifted the responsibility from myself to the vision. So when the person buys into that vision, then the two of us can now work towards achieving that vision, so that all of us can then now, have the experience to make that vision, to make that to create that reality exactly. So that we have created that reality in our imagination. And once it is in our imagination, it is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And so I'm inviting you to come and share in that imagination, so that we can work out our salvation and achieve that imagined reality, and actually make it the actual reality in the near future. You understand? So it is my vision that is attracting you into my space, so that together we can build this thing called whatever it is that we are going to call it at that point in time. You understand? This is very, very important. And as I've already said, when the vision is made clear and the person is attracted to the vision, or rather, when the vision is made clear, it's going to attract a certain caliber of people into your space. And then, depending on how convicted you yourself are about that vision, those who are attracted into your space, some of them will decide to partner with you, which is the first thing you have to understand. Not everybody you talk to about your vision or your business will want to partner with you. Don't be afraid, don't be sad, don't beat yourself up. It is your vision, it is not his vision. That's all. Life is very simple. We all not all of us like coconuts. Not all of us like fair things. Not all of us keep beard. Some people have clean shaving, others keep plenty beard. We can't all be the same. And so if people come into your space and they don't like your vision, it is what it is. We move on. You know what I'm saying? But which brings me to the first point. The most important thing when it comes to prospecting is organizing your prospect list. The same way the vision must be made clear on the tablets, as the Bible says, that's the same way you must approach your business with diligence and intention. You must be intentional about your business. You cannot run your business just based on chance. And by the way, chance is anything that the odds are all over the place. You must turn those odds into your favor, in which case it becomes an opportunity. So an opportunity is a chance whose odds are in your favor. How do you make the odds come into your favor? You make it, you make the odds, you turn the odds in your favor by being intentional about how you go about your business. And so the first intentional thing you need to do is that you cannot attack people randomly, anyhow, anywhere. You must have an organized plan of action. And so when you join the business or when you want to restart your business, you must have a list that is going to guide your action, your activity. So you have your vision, you've joined the business, you've attended some training sessions, they've given you the compensation plan, they told you about the product, you have, and they've shown you the success stories. You are probably a student, so you joined the business and you heard about, you've seen other students who are doing the business and they are successful. They have built organizations across different countries, and so you realize that people like you are doing well in the business, and so it reinforces your belief. It reinforces the fact that your vision is possible because you see people just like you doing it. That is very good. So now that you have seen people just like you doing it, you also want to do the business to get to their level and even go beyond them. So it begins with you organizing your list of potential partners because you have your vision and you know your friends and the people around you who automatically think like you. It is important that you start your list with people you already know, people you already have a relationship with, because you've been engaging them even before you join this business. You are engaging them, you are in class with them, you go to church with them, they are in your neighborhood. You probably you bought your last phone from one of them. People you have dealt with already, you have a relationship with them, so you know those who are already aligned to your business. I mean, before I joined Max, there were people that I was already flowing with. There were people that I had already formed a group with to start businesses with. So they were in a way, they had already bought into my vision already, because I was already partnering with them to do other things. So when I joined Max and I realized that Max can get me to achieve my vision faster than whatever we're doing, they were the first people I spoke to about my newfound opportunity. Of course, at the time I didn't have the experience or the skill and the knowledge I have today. So I messed it up. Most of them didn't partner with me in this my new journey. But on hindsight, if I had approached the prospecting process differently, the outcome would have definitely been much different. You understand? And so that is why my position of experience, I want to share with you some of the things you can do to help your improve your outcome, because I have learned from my mistakes. You don't have to make the same mistake. And so people who you already know, you already have a relationship with, you make a list of these people. And at this point, you have to understand that the more people, the more names you have on your list, the better the outcome you are likely to get. Because everybody has their own issues. Everybody has issues. You are not the only one who has issues. I mean, I kid you not. Everybody has issues. It's not everybody who's walking on the street and smiling who is happy. No. Everybody has issues. It's just that everybody has a different way of handling their issues. Some of us believe that when we smile, automatically whatever issue we are dealing with goes into the background. We don't give it, we don't feed it anymore. And so it helps us to focus on what lies ahead of us. And so the fact that you see me smile doesn't mean that I have everything sorted out. That's how I handle my issues. And so in the same way, all your process also have their issues. And so the question is, are you in a position to convince them that their issues can be resolved by this opportunity? That is the need we are talking about. So once you identify their need, then you have to find a way to utilize this opportunity to address their need. Supposing that they've already bought into your vision, because once they buy into your vision, that's a huge hurdle already overcome. And once that hurdle is overcome, sometimes it works out so well that they will even tell you how the opportunity can help them. And at that point, you know that you have won the you have won the race. But it doesn't always happen like that. Actually, fairy tales don't happen that often. And so you make a list, 100 people, 200 people. The bigger your list, the more protected your heart is. And take it from me, your heart is going to be broken several times. I tell you. So you need to protect your heart by increasing the number of people on your list. And so everybody you've gone to school with, everybody who is in your church, every family member who you are happy to share your business with, every friend you have ever made should go on that list. Because once your list is big, it means that the probability that you're going to find people who share your vision or people who have already seen you. You see, there are people who already admire you. Regardless of what you are doing, there are people who already admire you. And so you need to cast a wide net so you can find people who already admire you. And it's so easy to get people who already admire you through the business because they've already seen something that there's a quality in you that they already like. And so they want to be near you, they want to be close to you. So they once you approach them to tell them about the business, they will say yes before they even ask you how. You understand? Because they already admire you. And so that you need to increase the odds in your favor by expanding your list, by putting a big list together. So that by the time you are going through the entire list, a few people who already admire you, a few people who look up to you, a few people who trust your judgment will jump in and say yes. The reason why you need people to jump into your business quickly is that research has shown that if you join network marketing and you earn $1, the probability that you're going to stay engaged and earn more is much, much higher than somebody who does not earn anything. And at this point, when I say earn $1, I'm talking about earning $1 in terms of commission, not from product sales. Because product sales, before you join Max, you probably have sold already. You've sold before, so earning money from product sales does not make somebody stay engaged in the business as much as earning a commission. And so for the purpose of this discussion, I'm talking about earning a commission. So research has shown that any person who joins network marketing and earns $1 in their first month to 6 weeks, so the first 4 to 6 weeks, you earn $1 within the first 4 to 6 weeks, it's more likely to stay engaged in the business much longer and be more committed than somebody who does not earn any commission in that period. And so it's important that you yourself or your downline earns a commission within the first 6 weeks of joining a business. Very, very important. And so you need to increase the probability of that thing happening by having a big list, because in that big list, you are definitely going to find somebody who looks up to you, trusts your judgment, admires a quality in you, and wants to be part of whatever you are doing. And so that one person saying yes can be the catalyst in pushing you to achieve significant success in your business within a short time. Just as Kwame Nkrumah came into the picture, and before we knew it, we had independence in Ghana. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. I see some comments in the we need to protect our heart. Yes, very true. And then Edwin says, regardless of what you are doing, there are people who already admire you. That's also true. Which then also means that if you are doing negative things, there are people who admire you for doing negative things. And so when they come in and join you in the business, they are going to come in with negative attitude. And so make sure that the admiration they have for you is actually a positive oriented admiration, because we don't want negative stuff in our business. Very, very important. Very big list. Yes, very big list. I'm talking about 200, 300, 500 names. The bigger your list, the more protected your heart is. Very, very important. Somebody saying something? Are you saying something? All right, let me mute his mic so that he doesn't interfere with us. Okay, so that's the first one. Make a big list. And then number 2, approach them with excitement. Approach them with excitement. And you see, they need to see that you are excited about what you are coming to tell them. You see, because these are people that you already know. They already have a relationship with you. They know how you behave when you're excited. They know how you behave when they can tell that your excitement is genuine or it's fake. And so when you're approaching prospects that you know, we call them warm list, you need to, as much as possible, approach them with genuine excitement, which means that you must find a reason to be excited. Why would you start a business that you're not excited about? And so if you have started a business, automatically it means that you must be excited about this new business that you have started. So if you are talking to somebody about your business and that excitement is not visible, it's not palpable, you are not exuding that excitement, automatically people are going to turn away from you, because why should I come and partner with you when you yourself don't see a future in what you are doing? And so based on how you speak to the person, that person is either definitely going to join you or definitely not going to join you. And so yes, the person may admire you, all right. Yes, the person may love some quality that you have, but you are coming to him to tell him about an opportunity that somebody else brought you into. And so how you couch that message and the manner in which that message is disseminated will definitely impact whether that person is going to join you or not. And so you need to work on your excitement phase. And here, if you are not good at showing excitement, you need to practice. You need to go and stand in front of a mirror and practice how to present, how to share your news with the person. Hey, Kofi, I told you that I was going to build $1 million business, right? Well, guess what? It is happening faster than I thought possible. A friend of mine has just introduced me to a business. I started like a week ago, and master, what I'm seeing it looks like $1 million business. Initially, I said I was going to achieve it in 10 years time, but now it looks like I'm going to do it in 5 years time. And Kofi is obviously, he's feeling your passion. So he's like, hey, Charlie, I know you mentioned this to me some months ago, and you did mention 10 years. Now you're saying 5 years. Charlie, tell me more. It looks like it's something that I want to be involved in. You see, so just by being excited, Kofi wants to hear more because he knows you. He knows that you don't just, like, you are not the hyperactive person, but suddenly you are and talking about this thing so passionately. So there must be something good here. So I want to hear more because this is Kelvin. I've known Kelvin to be involved in business, and he seems to be doing well. So this new thing must be worth it. Let me hear more from him. So basically, you need to leverage on yourself. You need to leverage on the is it character, not character. You need to leverage on, well, let's call it character. The word is not coming, but basically what I'm saying is that how you have been with them or those people, you leverage on that relationship. So if you have been good to them, you've been doing favors for them here and there. When the guy was hot, you sorted him out. You in school you were good in mathematics. He was not. You helped him to overcome his fear of mathematics. Yes, emotional banking, exactly. You need to leverage on some of these things, which is why you need to be good. Regardless of this business, you need to be a good person. You need to be a source of value to other people, because when the time comes, you're going to leverage on the deposits you made in these emotional bank accounts. You're going to leverage on them to get them to sign up with you. You understand? Yes, even though it's true that when they sign up with you, they are going to benefit for themselves. But for them to sign up with you, there must be some connection. There must be a reason why they should sign up with you, especially because you are new and you probably are going to mess up the presentation. You need to have something to hold on to hold them to. And that is where the emotional banking comes in. So that even if the presentation is so bad, even though you're unable to show the excitement as you are supposed to, but because of the emotional banking, the deposit you made in the emotional account, they will still partner with you, and then and because of that first partnership, you are going to be motivated to go and learn how to do the business better, and then subsequently come back and do a better presentation to the next prospect. So that first sign up is critical. How you are going to get that first sign up, so long as you don't pay for that person to join your team, any other way you do it, so long as it's the legal way, you must do it, because that first commission is very, very, very important. Very important. Now, and so after you show an excitement, then you need to invite them to do something. And this invitation is important because you like I said, you're not going to pay for them to get started. You're not going to do anything for them to get started. You are going to get them to do what needs to be done, because once they make the steps, then it reinforces the fact that they are making the decision to partner with you. But if you make the decision for them, it becomes difficult for them to own it. And so you invite them to, based on the conversation you've had, based on the need they have, you're going to invite them to utilize the tool. And the tools range from the product. The product is the tool, yes. So if that person's need is a health-related need, you're going to invite them to try the product. Either they're going to pay for the product, or you're going to give it to them for free. That is between you and them and the kind of relationship you have built. There are people that they are prospects that I have sold the product to, and they still come back and they sign up into the business. There are prospects that I have given the product out for free, and they never responded to my call again. And so there's, like I keep saying, there's no one size fits all. It depends on the relationship you have built. It depends on the need you've identified, and it depends on how you yourself, the confidence with which you are approaching the business. You understand? And so when you have identified the need, and you think that an invitation to utilize the product is the best approach, go ahead and invite them to try the product. Because after they try the product works for them, they are more likely to now listen to you and hear from you to another, to a better degree, because results beget results. If you are showing results of the product, then they are more likely to listen to you next time you come to them and tell them to give them more information about the product. But if you are talking to them and it's all theory, it becomes a bit difficult. Like the belief is not there, because again, remember that you are new. You yourself may not have even had a product experience yourself, and so trying to get somebody to buy into a product you yourself have limited belief is going to be very difficult. So instead of talking plenty, why not let them try the product themselves, have their own experience, and then you can take it from there. If you think that a meeting with your upline or your mentor or somebody who is successful in the business will help. Invite the prospect to a three-way call, conference call with your team, with your upline, your mentor. Invite the person to the Zoom presentation you'll be doing, or invite the person to a physical meeting at the head office or any of the master offices or anywhere that a presentation is going on. All of these things are tools. Which tool you decide to use depends on the relationship you have with the person, because sometimes it might not be because you are probably talking to the person about, let's say, the fact that this business is a learning opportunity, a chance to improve your knowledge, because you and I know that knowledge is the only asset that adds value to other assets. And so you are sharing this business opportunity with this person as a knowledge-based business, a business where a personal development business. If you invite such a person to a BOM, and I hope you know that there are different types of presentations. If you invite this person to a presentation where they are discussing product sales, you are going to now, there's going to be a conflict in that person's mind, because I came here to hear about a knowledge-based business. Why am I being told to go and sell products? Is the product the knowledge, or what exactly? So there's a conflict in the person's mind. In that same regard, if you've spoken to this person about the product, the person has tried the product, the person is excited about the outcome, the person has already identified 10, 20 people that he can sell the product to, and then you invite him or her to attend a meeting where they are discussing Max as a knowledge, acquisition, personal development business, you are creating conflict in the person's mind. And so I'm saying this to let you understand that which tool you decide to share with your prospect depends on the conversation and the relationship and the expectation that you have presented to this prospect. So there must be synchrony. There must be synchrony between what you are saying and the tool that you are sharing with the person, because the tool is coming to reinforce what you are saying. So if the tool comes and contradicts what you are saying, then there's a problem. You don't know what you are talking about, and you do not want to come across as someone who does not know what he's talking about, because you are presenting yourself as the bearer of an opportunity, a life-changing opportunity. So that if you yourself don't know the full extent of this so-called life-changing opportunity, then it's a non-starter. So you must make sure that your tool is doing the right thing. I mean, for instance, people do a lot of third-party credibility calls. Now, you are speaking to a mother of three who is also, let's say, a teacher. A mother of three who is a teacher, and maybe the husband is not helping much, so she's on her own in quotes. So she goes out there, she goes to work every day, Monday to Friday, working 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then at the same time, she has to make sure that her children are doing well, well fed, blah, blah, blah. And you want this person to come and join your team or your organization, because you feel if she has a side income, which over time can surpass her full-time income, she can probably even quit her teaching job and focus on building her this side income and taking care of her children. Your intentions are all well and good, but then in getting a third-party call, you went to get a lawyer who is not even married to come and do a third-party credibility call with this prospect. Do you really think that at that particular time, the lawyer who is not married, has no children, can give this woman enough motivation for her to actually join the business? It's possible that this lawyer has been in the business for long, is probably now a crown diamond, has had experience with similar situations and has actually helped similar women out of such situations, and so that's why you chose the lawyer to be the one to give the third-party credibility. If that is the case, then brilliant decision. But most of the time, people choose third-party calls just because the person is my upline, just because the person is the one that did the presentation, so he must come and close my prospect in quotes. It doesn't work like that. The reason why, and I said this at the beginning, the reason why you get paid a lot of money in network marketing is because it is a relationship business. The relationship works across board, upline, downline, everywhere. You must know who you are getting to do the third-party credibility for you. And that person's story must align with whoever you are trying to convince to join the business. Because if you found a mother of two, a mother of four, who is also doing this business and has been able to successfully quit her job and is now focused on her family to actually do that third-party call with that teacher, I can assure you that regardless of whatever challenges that teacher was having, she will join the business because she has seen somebody like her excelling in the business. And that is where we need to be heading to, where we actually invest time to get to know the prospect, get to know the right tools that we are going to use. Because when all is said and done, this is your business. It's not your upline's business. It's not your mentor's business. It is your business. So you must invest time and energy to build the necessary relationship that you can leverage on and build your business whenever the time comes. Because when you have that system in place, that is when you can actually cross your legs and enjoy passive income at the end of the day. Otherwise, you are going to stay at the level of sweat income, even though you are supposedly doing network marketing, which can give you a lot of money. And sweat income is any income that you earn by working. And so if you have to call your teammates for them to do auto-ship, that's sweat income. If you have to be the one to do all the third-party calls, that's sweat income. If you have to be the one to do all the presentations, that's sweat income. If you have to be the one to go and do the product pickup, to go and find the customers, that's sweat income. You don't want to stay at the level of sweat income for too long. You want to begin to build systems so that even when you are not there, the systems are in place for your teammates or your new partner to know where to go to get the tools, who to go to do this and that. It is at that point that you realize that it is no longer sweat income. Now your money is making money for you. It is when your money begins to make money. That's actually when you earn profit. But that's a topic for another day. We will tackle that topic later on. And so, if you have any questions, please drop your questions on the comment section so that we can address them quickly. Our time is almost up. So if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section, or you can raise your hand and then I'll unmute your mic and drop your questions, and then we'll address them quickly. But as a bonus, basically all that I spoke about is when you already have a relationship with your prospect. What if you don't know this prospect? You just met a person on Facebook. What do you do? Well, essentially, it's the same thing. However, the difference is that, and obviously the difference is in the fact that this is a cold prospect. You don't actually have a relationship with this person. The key thing is that people will see you before they hear you. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm not likely to even listen to what you are saying. And so I'm using this case in point. A lot of our prospects, that people that we are prospecting nowadays, we are catching them on social media. So Facebook, Instagram, now TikTok, you name it. People are prospecting, LinkedIn. If I receive a message from a person who we are not connected with, or let me rephrase the question. When you receive a message from anybody on social media who you don't have a connection with, what is the first thing you do? Do you respond to the message immediately, or do you go and check out the person's profile first? Which one do you do? A, you respond immediately, or B, you go and check out the person's profile before you come back. Which one do you do first? This is the general question. So answer A if you respond immediately, or B if you go and check the profile before you come back and respond. Exactly. Most of the responses are coming as B. So when you receive a message, the first thing you do is that you go to the person's profile and check who this person is. And if you are like me, if I go and check your profile and I'm seeing, there are some people. First of all, if your profile picture is not, if you don't have a profile picture, I'm not going to respond. That's me. I don't respond if there's no profile picture. If Dr. Edwin said, if you only have 3 friends and you have little on your profile, bye-bye. Exactly. So what I see will determine whether I'm going to respond or not. If I don't like what I see, I'm not going to respond at all. And so you as a professional network marketer, you must make sure that your profile is attractive enough for people to want to engage with you, because you are the one going to be initiating the conversation with a lot of the time. You are the one going to comment on somebody's post. You are the one going to send an inbox message. And so if you listen carefully, that you know that you must find people, you don't actually respond, but you go and check out their profile before you come and respond. And you are the one that actually has a reason. You have a reason to respond, but you're not even doing that. You are going to check out before you come. So imagine the person who has no obligation to listen to you. And so it's the same thing. You do the same thing. So it means that everybody you send a message to who is not in your contact list, that person is also going to check out your profile before they'll come back and respond. And so if your profile is not engaging, if all you have on your profile, and this is very, very important, if all you have on your profile is anti-government posts, anti-NPP posts, or anti-NDC posts, or pro-NDC posts, pro-NPP posts, you remember you have already wiped out half of the country, half of Ghana from your prospect list. Because if you message somebody and your DP is NPP colors, automatically NDC people will not join your business. If you inbox somebody and your profile is NDC, automatically NPP people will not join your business. You understand? If you message somebody and your DP is Max International, automatically people who are anti-Max will not join your business. Period. If you go on your profile and every 2 posts is longevity, every 3rd post is Max Infused, every 4th post is lose weight, people who are not interested in supplements will not join your business, because you have reduced your business to just the supplements. You understand? Exactly. I mean that's what I'm saying. And so you must make sure that your profile is talking about, is in line with your vision. Because vision, remember I already mentioned that people are attracted to vision. People are attracted to destination. Where are we going? If I come in contact with this person, is he going to add to me or is he going to take away from me? And so if I look on your profile and what I'm seeing there is not engaging with me, it's not resonating with me, I'm not going to respond to you. And so as a network marketer, professional network marketer, I must make sure that my profile is attracting the kind of people that I want in my team. Exactly. I mean, and this thing I'm telling you is not new information. This information is available. It's available everywhere. Our very own Max Insane has done several trainings about this, and a lot of other network marketers have done training about this. And so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Remember that the real money in network marketing is actually in cold prospecting. You as you are sitting here today, you know very few people compared to the billions of people in the world, and so you use the people you know to do practice, so that when you go into the cold market, you can actually now get the real money. And so whatever we are doing, it is the cold market that's going to get us to our destination. And so we must make sure that our profile is not repulsive. Our profile must be attractive. And I'm not going to prescribe for you what you should put on your profile. What I'll say is that whatever you put on your profile must align with your vision, because your vision is what's going to attract the right people into your organization. And when I say right, the right person for you might be different from the right person for me. It is all based on our vision. So if my vision is to become person A, then I need people who also want to become person A to come my way. If your vision is to become person B, then you need people who also want to become person B to come your way. We don't have to put the same thing on our profile. And I'm saying this because sometimes I put up a comment or I put up a post, then you come and copy that post and put it on your thing, or you come and share that post onto your thing without understanding where I'm coming from. It can go and dilute your profile. And so before you share anything onto your page, I mean, sometimes you go on people's pages and they are sharing everything. It's so confusing on their pages. But again, this is not a social media class, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. All I'm saying is that there are things that you must avoid if you want to be attractive to everybody. Politics, or not just politics, heavy politics is a big no-no. Heavy religion is a big no-no. Because these are things that are divisive. And as a network marketer, you are supposed to be attractive, not divisive. And so try and avoid hardline positions. But of course, some people will make the argument that if you are consistent in your hardline position, you're going to attract people who are also hardline to you. And so I guess at the end of the day, your vision is all that matters. That's why my focus is on vision, because once your vision is clear, you are going to find people who will gravitate towards that vision. And once you have people, where 2 or 3 are gathered in the Lord is with them. And so once you can find people to gravitate or to vibrate at the same frequency as you are, I can assure you that you're going to get results that are going to blow through the ranks and make everything you imagine a possibility. Because where 2 or 3 agree, the Lord is there with them. At this point, I don't have anything else to add. I've emptied myself this evening. If you have any question, please go ahead and ask the question on the platform, and then, well, we can begin to wrap it up. It's been an enlightening time. I have learned a lot as I prepared, and even as I spoke, some of the things that I said are things that I are ministering to me myself, and so I'm happy that I had this session. I have learned a lot, and if you are here and you have also learned a lot, please go ahead and type value on the comment section so I know that at least somebody got something from me. I'll be very happy for that feedback. Thank you very much, Irene, for that feedback. So thank you guys for being here with me this evening. It has been an insightful session, and I'm happy that you also found value here. Now let's go out there and let's do this business the right way. Let's enjoy this evening as well. Thank you very much. We'll meet again on Thursday for another training session. And tomorrow, Wednesday, there's going to be a BOM, an opportunity presentation. So do invite your friends with the information that you have got today. Let's invite the right people to join the Zoom meeting, and let's make this month successful. Thank you very much, and have a lovely, lovely evening, guys. Stay blessed. Peace.